which is a little bit strange, more difficult to work with. So guys, you just saw how we completely washed this absolutely amazing Lamborghini Aventador Super Veloce SV, as they also call it. And this is actually also a roadster version. They only built 500 roadsters in total, and this is one. So we are super happy we can work on this amazing machine. Our job is to completely detail the car and protect the matte grey paint with a double layer ceramic coating. And as I just said, it is matte, so we don't have to polish it. We can't in fact polish matte paint. We can skip that step and save some time, you may think. So matte paint is more difficult to work with as glossy paint. It's also the fact if you have a scratch or a bird poop that's really etched in the paint, you have to repaint the car. You can't polish it, and that's the big downside of matte paint, and also the reason why you should protect it with a coating. In most cases, if you order a brand new car, the price for this kind of paint job will be much more expensive. The reason is that the factory has the same problem. They also make some mistakes sometimes and actually can sand them out or polish it as well. In this case, they have to start completely all over again and send the car back to the paint booth. And that's actually the most important reason why this kind of paint job is much more expensive, because the paint is not that different than glossy paint. The only difference is the clear coat. That's a matte finish. The paint itself, the color, is basically the same. So we don't have to polish it. So you may think we save quite a lot of time, but we actually don't. I can explain you why. And first of all, matte paint is not that forgiving as glossy paint. It is much more difficult to apply a coating on a matte paint. We can't make a mistake here, because if we make a mistake with glossy paint, we can actually go back and polish it and redo the surface. In this case, we can't, because we can't polish it. And therefore we have to be very careful, double check every panel before we move on to the next. So it takes much more time doing a matte paint than a glossy paint, because you have to double check and take your time. And next to that, with this car it takes even more time, because there are many panels, edges, holes we have to get into, which takes even more time. We have actually some glossy parts on top of the car, around the window and on the back, which we have to polish because there are quite some swirls and scratches in there. But before we're going to do that, we have to remove this top of this car. And the cool thing about the Roadster is you have the carbon fiber top, which is actually two pieces. You can remove either one. We're going to remove them both and actually then remove them and put them in the front, and then you can basically take them with you if it's going to rain. You can put them back on. So we also have to tape this off, and we can't touch the matte paint while polishing this. First step, removing the top, because the paint is also going underneath there, so we have to polish there as well. So first of all this, and then polishing. Then we're going to decrease the paint with pure alcohol. So let's start. This car has also the option of matte carbon fiber. Some people ask if you can also put a ceramic coating on carbon fiber. And we can. This actually has an option of matte carbon fiber, which looks very cool, and we can actually also put ceramic coating on top of the carbon. You open the engine bay, the first thing you see is a really cool push-rod suspension facing you directly. And then here you see the filler cap where you can fill up your oil. That will go to the dry sump oil system down there, which is a little bit strange because it is next to the exhaust, and that will get very, very hot. And normally you don't really want the oil getting that hot. So I don't know why they put it here and not somewhere else. but they probably had a reason for that. Yeah, you can actually look for hours to this engine. It's absolutely amazing looking, but we already did for hours, so now we're going to close it and move to the next part. Some other cool features are these. These are actually not plastic, that's real glass, and these are overlapping each other over there, and that makes it quite difficult to clean the glass because we have to get in between. But a very cool feature of this Aventador. And then we have the exhaust, which is, in my opinion, the coolest thing about the complete car. We have 4 of them next to each other, facing downwards. So compared with the Lamborghini Murcielago, these doors are super light. You just have to touch them and they go up. They also move a little bit out. Compared with the Murcielago, they really go straight. So a very cool little detail if you compare the two. We have big carbon brakes and 20-inch wheels with center locks. So this Lambo is now completely ready, so thank you for watching and push the bell button that you don't miss any future videos.